Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Emily Bennett. Congress is taking a first step to limit President Trump's war powers and force him to come to Congress before he takes future military action against Iran. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry is at the White House.
The radical left Democrats have expressed outrage over the termination of this horrible terrorist.
President Trump lashed out Thursday night at congressional Democrats for their criticism over the killing of Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani.
They're all trying to say, how dare you take him out that way? You should get permission from Congress.
The president spoke at a campaign rally in Toledo, Ohio, after the House passed a resolution aimed at limiting his ability to wage war against Iran.
The current resolution is adopted.
Republicans denounced the effort ahead of the vote, almost entirely along party lines.
This resolution plays politics with national security.
What message is it sending to Iran?
Democrats said President Trump's decision to kill Soleimani last week in a drone attack made the resolution necessary.
He endangered our servicemen and women, our diplomats, and others by taking a serious risk of escalation with tensions with Iran.
It has united the Iranian people, not against their government, but against us.
As early as next week, the Senate could take up a similar measure to require President Trump get congressional approval before taking further action against Iran.
Tensions with Iran appeared to ease this week after there were no casualties from retaliatory missile attacks on two bases housing U.S. soldiers in Iraq. But a commander for Iran's Revolutionary Guards warned that the Islamic Republic would take harsher revenge on America soon. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
After the House vote, the White House issued a statement saying, quote, "The president has the right and duty to protect this nation and our citizens from terrorism. That is what he continues to do, and the world is safer for it." Now back home in the Bluegrass State, Kentucky Republican Congressman Andy Barr says President Trump made the right call in ordering the hit on General Soleimani.
Absolutely. The president had the legal constitutional authority to act without Congress because it was a defensive effort. It was self-defense.
Barr says Soleimani was a terrorist and disagrees with accusations that President Trump escalated tensions with Iran. Kentucky Congressman Hal Rogers agrees with Barr. Rogers released a statement tonight saying, quote, "Our national security is not a matter for political stunts. Forbidding the use of force against any part of Iran's government or military, even if they are imminently threatening America's civilians, diplomats, or allies. It's reckless," unquote. Meanwhile, Kentucky's lone congressional Democrat took to Twitter to voice his support to the resolution. Congressman John Yarmouth saying, in part, "I am unwilling to send any of our men and women in uniform into harm's way on the orders of an impulsive and unstable president." Now, Kentucky lawmakers are making a bill to prevent sanctuary cities a top priority this legislative season. Senate Bill 1 would prohibit law enforcement enforcing any sanctuary policy and support the enforcement of federal immigration law. Attorney General Daniel Cameron supports the bill because he doesn't want officers to have their hands tied. Opponents say the bill would separate Kentucky families and is dangerous and discriminatory. A family in Clay County have been without a home for 3 weeks after a boulder almost crushed their home. Angela Combs and her family were in the living room of their home in the Oneida community. She says they heard a loud rumble, a noise that sounded similar to thunder. Her husband yelled for her and the 3 kids to run out of the house. Other rocks hit nearby and caused damage.
This is where that rock, I guess, it broke off of some of that whenever it fell. And as you could tell by the little marks where it's coming down the ground, it was kind of headed towards, that's my daughter's bedroom, but it went that way instead.
The family is living with Angela's mother-in-law. She says nothing can be done from local or state government since the boulder is on private property. Now, 2020 should bring the end to Phase 1 of the Kentucky 15 expansion project. The Transportation Cabinet has been at work on this for the past couple of years. It is a 2-part project seeing completion of Phase 1 in the summer of this year. Phase 2 is a bit more in-depth with a substantial amount of bridge work. It should be completed in 2021. All of this is with a goal to better the region.
A good highway system makes a community more attractive to economic development. And that's one thing that the Transportation Cabinet's always looking at when it does highway projects. So this is an $85 million investment in state and federal funds in Perry County.
Elkins advises everyone to pay attention to pattern changes and always look for workers in construction zones. Now this morning, a road sign in Whitley County gained much attention. The sign read, "Send nudes," instead of warning drivers of the roadwork ahead. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says it appears someone hacked into the sign. I talked with some men that said they were mystified when they passed by. People driving on Highway 92 Wednesday night into Thursday morning saw a strange message on this construction sign.
We was thinking, this can't be real. There ain't no way. So we kind of pulled over in shock, and we had to take our pictures and stuff just for laughs.
In bright orange letters, it sat on the side of the road, encouraging drivers to send nudes. Tevin Stevens and his friends were headed home from work when they saw the sign.
This is one of them things you never would even think of.
They posted pictures all over social media.
So I had like 50 people screenshot it off of my story alone,
making it spread like wildfire.
All of our friends were there thinking the same thing we was. They was thinking, this can't be real.
Amber Hale with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet arrived at work Thursday morning to messages pouring in.
The message board actually belongs to that contractor, and they are in charge of the messaging on it.
The contractor is working to put up a new message.
It's just like anything else, you know, that's got a password on it. If somebody knows how to bypass them, I really don't know how they hack into them.
She said she's upset someone would put this kind of message on the roadway.
This is the taxpayers' money that's being spent out there, and then somebody to go and tamper with this. And
also worried about distracted drivers.
It could affect the safety of the traveling public. So, you know, it is a very serious incident whenever it happens, and we don't take this stuff lightly.
Hoping this is the last tampered sign here in the mountains. Now, Amber Hale did say this kind of incident has happened across the state, but to her knowledge, never in southeastern Kentucky.
It's a pretty nice day for your Thursday, and we'll continue those conditions a little bit. We're going to increase those wind speeds, though, as we head into tomorrow. Interstate 64 over into Moorhead, you could see we ended the day with those mostly cloudy skies, and they're here to stick around as we head into the next really couple of days. Satellite and radar shows that thicker cloud cover has moved into the mountains, and it's going to continue to stick around as our next system moves in as we head into the next couple of days. Temperatures very mild out there, low to mid 50s with that cloud cover. That's going to keep us warm, act almost like a thermal blanket over us, and keep those temperatures well above freezing. So if you're tired of the cooler weather, at least we'll get a break from that. But windy weather returns as we head into your Friday and into your Saturday. Record warmth is also possible over the next few days. And yes, we're going to see some rain chances and a few isolated storms as we head into your Saturday. We'll break down this rainy system coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Paige. And are you looking for a job in the manufacturing field? Dashcore Aluminum is coming sooner than you know and is in immediate need of qualified candidates. Die correctors and die polishers are the positions available at the moment. Dashcore will start with a core group of 25 people beginning early March of this year.
They really want the core team to have had some type of manufacturing experience or some type of manufacturing knowledge. Of course, they'll be able to do some on-the-job training with them as needed.
As Dashcore grows, a total of 200 jobs will be available. They have already received more than 600 applications. Friday at noon is the deadline to submit a resume for the die positions. You can find that on our website, WIMT.com. Fazolis fans, pay attention. There may be a new location coming to eastern Kentucky. The company's president say they plan to open a location somewhere in Pikeville. Plans are still in the works, but we are told it might be open sometime this summer. Have you ever wanted a career in audio production, to write, record, and produce your own music? Well, now students at Buckhorn High School can. A dual credit program partnership with Hazard Community and Technical College and the Bluegrass School of Music is making that possible. Through online classes, students are able to gain skills in audio production and graduate ready for the field.
I do all the recordings. I have taken the dual credit classes, and I've been trained to record people, and I take the audio, edit it, and I can upload it to anything.
Since taking these courses, Annabelle says she wants to make this a profession, which she had never thought about. The online audio recording certificate will afford students a fast-track opportunity to receive training in audio engineering and music production. Shopping small never goes out of style, but sometimes needs a facelift. That is why the Prestonsburg Merchants Network has rebranded. Shop Prestonsburg is a combined effort from small business owners in Prestonsburg. Its Facebook page is devoted to sharing the sales and events that go on throughout the stores in the community. Heather Owens, one of the group's organizers, said it's all about community growth.
If we stick together and support each other versus being in competition with each other, we can only do better, greater things.
For more about the group, visit Shop Prestonsburg on Facebook. The Mountain Arts Center is starting a new program to help fund arts in local schools. Jamuary, a concert for music education, will hit the stage January 25th. A host of musicians will perform at the MAC, and all the night's proceeds will be donated to Prestonsburg High School's band, which is in the process of being reestablished this year. Band director Donald Settles says the event goes beyond helping the band.
It's not about us, it's not about the band, it's not about me, it's not about necessarily Prestonsburg High School. It's about the community coming together to really make a difference in the lives of our kids.
January is expected to be an annual event to fund different programs each year. Coming up at 11, prison officials say they accidentally lost a video that could shed light on the death of Jeffrey Epstein.
And we'll break down our next system that'll bring windy weather, warm temperatures, and rain into the mountains. Those details coming up.